Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, Dzkan Toys, where I do reviews and share my thoughts on some of my favorite toy releases. Today we have a S.H.Figuarts Bulma's motorcycle to look at, and this one has been released for a bit already, but my local store just got it, so I'm a bit late. But anyways, let's check out the box first and get the unboxing started. Alright, now we have our motorbike unboxed. In terms of the background of this bike, it is from the original Dragon Ball series by Akira Toriyama, which is loosely based on Journey to the West and inspired by many martial artist films from Hong Kong. For the story, our protagonist Son Goku meets the teen girl known as Bulma for the first time. She's seen using this bike. Of course, she is the daughter of Dr. Brief, which is the owner of the famous technology company in Dragon Ball known as the Capsule Corporation. They use technologies that has to do with capsules, which basically shrink any item, which makes it easy for carrying until they need it to be used again. It kind of reminds me of the technology of Ant-Man from the recent Avengers movies. Anyways, that's a basic background. For more information, be sure to watch the series, but now let's take a closer look at the aesthetics of the bike. In terms of the aesthetics, in my opinion, it looks kind of pleasing and cute at the same time. It really emphasizes on Akira Toriyama's earlier styles, as he drew a lot of these mechanical things. Even the series before Dragon Ball, known as Dr. Slump by Akira Toriyama, he would often draw many robots or mechanical items, and they really have a signature style to them, and this capsule bike is no different. In terms of the aesthetics and paint job, this bike definitely looks like something from the future. Although at first glance it does look like a motorbike, we have some futuristic design features on it. First of all, we have these wheel covers in the front and the back. These are nicely decorated. We have some vents over here and here. We also can see these blinker lights, the silver in the middle. We also have a nice decal that says Capsule 9 printed on the back. Moving on to the side view to the front, we can see there's an overarching protective layer for the top. This is supposed to be a glass cover design for the bike, but obviously here it's made out of clear plastic. In the front, we also have this nice looking headlight, which actually looks fairly real. At first glance, I thought there may be a feature to light it up, but that's clearly not the case after checking the instructions. But I believe those of you guys who are good at modding can definitely make this light up in the front. As for further details and paintwork, for the wheels over here at the front, we can also see the silver suspension over here, which is nicely detailed. We also have the yellow for the blinker markers on each side of the wheel covers. Over here we have more vents or intakes for the wheel covers. Turning to the sides even more, we see on both sides we have some sort of intake here again. Although these are in white, it might have been cool if we got a gray color here to do more color separation. Moving to the other side, we also have the capsule decal, which is identical to the other side. As for the back, we have this number over here for decal, which says AF4029. I'm not sure what that means. For those of you guys who knows, maybe you guys can leave it in the comment section below. At the back, we have more blinker markers, a brake light, which is nicely done in this clear plastic. Also, two menacing looking exhaust pipes on each side of the wheel covers. Taking a closer look at the insides of the cockpit, it's nice to see that details over here are not skipped. We have this nice looking control panel with the green screen and two black small screens on the sides. All of the control panel is nicely painted, majority in the silver color, which connects to the suspension, which we can see from the insides as well. The buttons on the control panel as well as the steering, we do have some color separation such as red, orange, blue, yellow. And for the mirrors, although they're not reflective, The side mirrors are painted in this dark silver color. As for the seats, we also have this nice red over here for the seat cushions. Another detail that is nice is we have this sort of fuel cap looking thing over here. And here we can see the insides to the wheel arch, the wheel covers, and also the suspension that I was talking about. And yes, we can actually move this suspension. I'll go over this more in the articulation segment, but just giving you guys a general idea. Moving on, next up we have the accessories segment. So this bike actually comes with some quite interesting accessories that we can use. First, you guys already have seen it actually, is the stand over here. This keeps the bike stable when we're trying to pose it. The stand is made in this round cover shape. We have a Capsule Corp logo painted in silver or printed in silver over here. We have 2 peg holes over here. This release comes with 3 type of options for the pegs. We have a straight and then also a slightly curved one and a longer and slightly curved ones. In terms of the straight one, we fit it in the middle peg and just plug it under here in the peg hole. The effect that we get is that. This is probably what most people are gonna use when displaying this motorbike. Now let's see what the difference is for the other pegs. It should just be an angle difference. For the slightly bent one, we actually plug it into the side peg hole instead of the middle one. Let's try to plug this one in. Alright, so I guess it's like that. So this way, it's kind of hard to tell, but the bike is actually leaning a little bit towards us. Maybe if I put it like that, it's easier to see for you guys. So you can choose to pose the bike in a leaning position with this peg. Let's look at the front view of the lean, something like that. Now let's try the last one. The last one is also bent, but it's much longer. This one fits in the middle, similar to the first one. It's much higher, and we can just plug it in like that. You can angle it around a little bit, but I guess this is the effect for it. It looks like it is moving forwards, almost doing a trick. Very anime-ish if we have somebody riding the bike like this. Yeah, so these are all the display stands options. Moving up next, we also have this nice looking figurine of our kid Goku from the original Dragon Ball series. So he's actually not articulated, he's in a stationary position, which looks like he's riding the bike. But we do have articulation at the head. He is nicely painted though, and for his appearance, it's based on his first outfit, which is in this dark blue color. We have some red for his signature staff weapon, a pouch which he carries around his things such as the Dragon Ball, some white robes for separation, the Kung Fu shoes, and this expression is really well done. So let's take a closer look at him actually. Next up, we have this red piece, which is basically the back cushion for the seat cover that we can swap out. This peg is for the Kid Goku to sit in. As we can see, it matches the peg over here. We can just plug it in and then plug this in on the bike. For easier access, we can actually take off this top cover part, and this is pretty easily removable. We can just do something like that and put the cover back. So yeah, that definitely looks pretty good. Let's try to put it back to the normal stand. You can see Goku in the bike at the back with his hilarious expression. Of course, this expression is supposed to create the iconic scene. The iconic scene where Bulma and Goku is riding the bike. So Bulma is not included in this set, but I do have her, so let's showcase it, because we do have these accessories for Bulma, which is a skirt and a set of bike riding hands, one with a glove and one without a glove. Give me a sec, let me take Bulma over here. Here we have Bulma in her first appearance for the S.H.Figuarts. So she's wearing this pink skirt outfit, and we have this extra piece of skirt which we can swap on to her in order for her to sit on the bike. So let me just do that. Here we go. This is what Bulma looks like after the skirt swap. From the back, from the front. Basically the difference is we have the front of the skirt bent over here, so we can make her into a sitting position. So that's the main point of this swappable part. I also swapped on the two gripping hands specifically for the bike. So let's try that out and put her on. Just like that, together with Goku. So yeah, something like that. I think it looks pretty decent. We can also put the cover back on again. So this actually looks way better than I thought it would be, and this is definitely one of those classic scenes from the original Dragon Ball manga panels that we first see when the story begins. Let's take a 360 view of this. Up next, let's check out the articulation of the bike. So just playing around with it, actually at the foot pedals over here, we do have a hinge here. It's made out of metal, which is nice, means it can support the weight. We can actually bend it over like that, and there. We actually don't need a stand. If you don't want to, it can keep the bike itself up with the footstep. So at first it's actually a little bit hard to bend this part. You have to give it a bit of a wiggle. It's a little bit tight, but it is made out of a metal piece here, so it should last. Other than that, some other interesting articulation for the bike that you guys are probably interested in is the wheels. At first I thought they're just molded plastic, but they can actually roll just like that. That's actually pretty good if you wanted to play around with it. The tires itself though, they look like rubber, but I can't really say they're rubber because they still feel fairly hard. It's a little bit soft. It's hard to say. I wouldn't say they're fully rubber, but it may be really hard rubber. So this one is a weird one. It's really hard to explain. They're likely just some kind of molded plastic, but there is some sort of squeeze to them, but it's not really soft. Other than that, we have articulation for the steering. As seen here, we can move the wheels. What's nice about this is it connects to the control panel. So when you wiggle the steering inside, this wheel will move too. I think that's about it for the articulation. And I guess we can take the cover off, which I already showed you guys earlier. Other than that, that's all for the articulation segment. Moving on, we have the size comparisons. So here is our first appearance Bulma beside the bike. She's taller than the bike when standing up, and definitely it is a good scale compared to the Goku that's included too. Of course, we also have our event exclusive first appearance S.H.Figuarts original Goku. As seen over here, this is the articulated version for S.H.Figuarts. The scale is quite different for this Goku compared to the one included. Obviously, this scale is off, and Goku should be closer to this size when comparing to Bulma, but again, it's understandable. It may have been hard for them to make the smaller figure articulated. So it's nice that we do have a small Goku included in this release to recreate the scene. Here's some more size comparisons. We have Master Yoshi in the S.H.Figuarts form. We also have a Mezco 112 Punisher Netflix version. As seen over here, the bike looks quite small next to Frank. Let's do 2 more. We have a Mafex Deadpool over here, which again towers over the bike. And finally, we have a Figma Fate Grand Order Mash in her casual outfit. So she's similar height to Bulma over here, especially if we don't include the stand that gives her a little bit of added height. So for some of you guys who are interested, some of the female Figmas may be able to work with this bike too. Alright, final thoughts on today's review, which is the motorbike. It's always nice that S.H.Figuarts do something different compared to their normal releases. Often or not, we will get a character, but we do have some special ones. And on top of my head that I can think of, in terms of special releases this year, we had the Ozaru ape form of Vegeta, and also previously we have the S.H.Figuarts Shenron. All of those are quite unique. And for this one over here, it is very unique too, because nobody expected Bandai would give us a motorbike version of the S.H.Figuarts first appearance bike used by Bulma. It is then, in terms of the positives for this release, it is something special, a breath of fresh air for us long-time collectors of the S.H.Figuarts line. Other than that, the bike also is nicely designed in terms of its paint job and aesthetics. It stays true to the original manga and the show. We also have somewhat of a articulation for the wheels and steering. All of those are nice touches. Not to mention, we also have a Kid Goku in the right size. Although he does not have much articulation, it is nice to have as a display item with Bulma riding the bike. So are there any negatives in regarding to this release? Well, there are some if you think of it. First of all, this release does not include any type of figure. It's just the bike itself. We had to buy Bulma alone to pair with the bike to create this awesome scene. Secondly, I know many collectors of the S.H.Figuarts Dragon Ball line do not collect the original Dragon Ball characters, let alone a simple motorbike from the original series that does not include any character figures. A final minor gripe that I had with this release, I guess, is really small, but I just wanted to point it out. When Bulma is sitting over here, her bow is basically touching or nearly touching the cover that we have on the bike. So be careful over here. If you keep it in this position for a long time and do not bend her neck, I guess, in order for this part not to touch each other, you may risk the red paint scratching onto the top plastic cover. Other than that, I mean, it's definitely a great release for Dragon Ball collectors. It will definitely stand out on your shelf. I'm quite interested to see what you guys think, so if you have some kind of opinion about this release, let me know down in the comment section below. Hopefully Bandai can give us more unique release like this in the future. Anyways, there goes the end of today's review. If you liked and enjoyed the video, please remember to support the channel by subscribing. I would really appreciate that. As always, my friends, be young at heart. Until next time, we're out.
The lights in my head are shining